What is going on? This is I Should Be Ashamed with your host, Sam Schmidt. How are you doing today? What's going on, you guys? How you doing? How you feeling on Tuesday? Feeling all right? You feeling all right, all yes? I'm doing fine. It's all good. It's chill. It's quiet. It's a quiet Monday that I'm recording this on. Big stuff going on this evening. Big, huge activity. Doing stuff later. Yeah. Yeah, man, chilling. How you guys doing though? You doing all right? Doing fine. I figure you'd be doing fine. You'd be doing fine. You'd be doing all right. You only got nothing going on if you're listening to this. That's for damn sure. You you have nothing going on in the world. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine having so little going on in the world that you listen to this podcast? Appreciate it though. Thank you for doing so. I appreciate you doing such. It's very it's very kind of you. How was your weekend? Was it all good? Was that first day of work productive? Did you get anything done or no? I uh I did. I have not really today. And like the one thing that I was gonna do, I'm just now realizing I forgot to do. But you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna go do it. I'm gonna literally see if I can walk while recording this. Do this, and the audio quality might fall off for a little bit, but you're still gonna hear what's happening. Okay. So I told myself before the podcast starts, put the clothes that you have in the wash in the dryer. Do that. That's what I told myself. And I forgot to do it. So now I'm going to do it. I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it on the podcast. Doing chores live and in the flesh, baby. Hell yeah. Remembering how the new dryer opens. Got it. It wasn't that complicated, to be honest. Let's just be honest. It wasn't that tough. Figured it out. I'm smart and stuff. Sometimes, not really. No, I'm not. I'm lying. Clothes in the dryer now. Um, Not that t-shirt. I'm not gonna lie. If I have a t-shirt that I really like, I don't put it in the t-shirts I really like don't go in the dryer. T-shirts I really like hang dry. At least ones with like stuff on them, you know? Like anything like printed, a good screen print t-shirt. That's that goes in there. It does not go in there. I mean, it gets saved for I get saved for the hang dry. It's good because there's room in my closet right now, so I can just put it up in there. Maybe put a little towel underneath it in case there's any drippage. Is that what people do? I should probably figure out another way to hang it. Probably wouldn't be good enough airflow through there to really get it nice and dry. Big airflow guy. That's how I prefer to live with good airflow. Oxygenated, you know? Oxygenated life is a good way to live. Someone's like, "How are you living?" And they're like, "Oxygenated." That's sick. They're doing awesome. They're all oxygenated and shit. They're doing awesome. Some of these are real question marks. I'm deciding whether or not I care enough about the t-shirt to put it in the dryer to hang dry it. Nah, the one of Damian Lillard after game 6, banging it over Paul George. Yeah, no, that's a hang dry t-shirt. That t-shirt rules. Shout out the homie that got that one. Loading the dryer on the podcast, doing chores and shit. Because I mean, I may as well. I think this is the most productive this podcast has ever been. You know, like this is the most this doing this podcast has ever achieved in my life. The fact that I am doing putting laundry in the dryer while doing it. In the podcast description, it's gonna say like this week on the podcast, Sam does laundry, and hopefully that'll be enough to make people go, "What the fuck's going on?" Yeah, it's just audio of me while bending over and picking shit out of a dryer. It's just, God damn it, now the Janae Eco song stuck in my head. That's on you, Sam. You started singing it. Why do you put yourself on that one? Usually what ends up working out. And it's the tabs. Nobody blame but yourself. This was a solid load to do on the podcast. This is like a few t-shirts that are cool that I'm pulling out, but besides that, everything else just and there with audio. Ooh, we back. Shout out. Audio dropped off there for a minute, I know. I apologize. But people are home, so let's do this quick so we can not be recording with everyone. That was loud, sorry. That'd be possible. Up there goes the dryer. All right. Sorry. Back in the room. I had to navigate doors and such. But that's it's been accomplished. Doing laundry on the podcast. Well, it's not accomplished yet, actually. I still have to hang up some things. Still got to hang dry some items. What a wild usage of media. The funny thing is, I probably could have done this 4 times faster without trying to record it. Not record it, but record myself while talking while doing it. But that wouldn't be hashtag content. Ugh. Kill me. Damn. There's a few more t-shirts I thought I grabbed. Oh well. They're all pretty sick. All pretty sick. God damn it. I suck. Trying to hang dry and talk. It's worse than chew gum and walk. Feel talked. All right. We're getting there, folks. The most boring podcast experience you've ever, experienced is nearing completion. I say nearing because there's still a few things to hang up. I don't think I'd pick anything that was not mine out of the dryer. So, I got my priorities straight. Oh, man. I wonder if anybody is actually still listening to this, credit to you just for having tenacity as a human. Happening right now should probably be played for like terrorists down in Guantanamo Bay. You know what I mean? Like just loud at full volume to like get answers out of them. I can't take it anymore. Apparently, they did do that with like actual like music, like they put like death metal and shit like that on, and it would just like people didn't like it. Apparently, which I can imagine death metal being like blared like that would probably be pretty uncomfortable, especially if it was something you weren't accustomed to. I wonder if that like I wonder if any of those bands like got fans out of it though. You know what I mean? Like you just roll up on a dude, you're like at some. Oh my god, dude, that's such a funny con. I never. That's really terrible. But it's a very funny concept. I love that idea. I think that's a very funny concept. The idea of like that kind of torture results in one of the guys becoming like a fan, and like eventually years later, like released or whatever. Now he's just like at the concert chilling. Go out, you see some guy at the concert, right? It's like some like vaguely Eastern European looking individual. You just like go up to him, "Hey, buddy, how you doing? Ah, such a fun concert. So how do you like them, man?" And it's just like, "Oh, believe it or not, they thought I was connected to ISIS, and so they put me in a room and played this at full volume all day. And honestly, I kind of caught the groove. It was a bit of a vibe." Oh Jesus, could you imagine? You'd be like, "Yeah, wait, hold on a minute. I feel like I feel like we skipped a couple of us." Yeah, but I feel like we skipped some steps in your story, bud. Dealing with the hey, buddy. Dealing with the whole show. I feel like we skipped a few steps, buddy. Uh, podcast sometimes should really just be called Sam Does Fucking Noises. Good Lord. Almost done, I swear. Still attempting to do this task, which the more I think about it, the more ridiculous it really is. By the way, go listen to the Your Worst Neighbor podcast if you want to hear an actually decent product. I'm just walking around. Why did I even pull the shirt out, dude? This is a I don't know why, because I had a very good time. Concert T-shirt from the Endless Summer Tour by G-Eazy and Lil Uzi Vert, with guests Ty Dolla Sign, YBN Namar, New Beats in Polo. Yeah, shout out. Dude, 2018 ruled. Don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. 2018 was fun. You should. There's no reason for you to be mad about 2018, dog. 2018 was good times. Let the good times roll. Yeah, let the good times roll. Looking for like room to put like two more shirts. The lack of good places to hang laundry from is becoming evident. Oh man, this is an athletic shirt. This is gonna be drying in 10 seconds. It's probably a dumb idea, but I'm gonna try to hook it onto the joystick with this little Xbox controller and see if the Xbox controller is strong enough. Stronger, a like Nike Dry Fit or an Xbox controller. It appears Xbox controller. That's gonna work. All right, perfect. And just like that, laundry done. Look at that. Well, that step of the laundry. That step of the laundry is done. Mm. And we are cruising right along with this podcast. Holy shit, look at that. That was like 15 minutes off the top. Excuse me, I need a big sip of water after all that moving and talking. It's a lot of work for an athletic like me. And you're unathletic like I am. That's a toughie. That's a toughie. Oh man. But anyways, how were you this weekend? Jesus Christ. There was ever an example of AD like that. That was a something moment. That was a real something moment. It was mid podcast, getting up, doing laundry, coming sitting back down. That's a lot. That just feels like a lot. Excuse me for that. A little sippy sip of my coffee. A Mayan mocha. Ooh, alliteration. Mexican mocha still works, but Mayan sounds cooler, right? Like if they were like, here's a Greek salad, or it's like, here's a Spartan salad. It sounds sicker. It's like, oh, we're going out for Italian food, or we're going out for Roman cuisine. That's sick. That's awesome. It's like, yeah, dude. No, I get it. Calling it by the ancient thing is sick. A great move. I'm a big fan. Let me sit up so I'm not doing the sitting on the podcast thing. Oh man, we had stuff to get to today too. Holy crap. That's already like 15 minutes at least. That's 20 minutes right there. Almost. My goodness. Anyways, what do we have in store for today? Take a look at it. Oh yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you about the weekend. We're gonna talk about some advertising ideas that I thought would work really well. We're gonna have that NFL draft recap that I was talking about. And I'll talk a little bit about what's coming up this week. All right. But hey, first things first. Past weekend, man. I'm doing the Polly Shore voice, buddy. I don't know why. I don't know why that's the one that keeps coming out, but I think I'm just lazy and tired, and my vocal cords are being lazy and tired as well. No, man. I was thinking about it. Um, this is just something that's gonna come to the podcast just because I want to do it. I'm gonna start for every league season, like the big sports team, like the big leagues, right? I might do starting with when college football and pro football starts up in the fall. Do that for football, do it for basketball, do it for baseball, maybe do it for MLS. That'd be tough though, because there's always new stuff at soccer. Every team has new stuff every year. And do hockey. Mm, yeah, all right. Let's do hockey too. Let's do it. And if at any point somebody's like, "Yo, there's a league coming up. I want you to do this for this league," I'll do it. If you reach out and ask, I'll do it for sure. What it's gonna be, it's not just gonna be a preview episode because there will be preview episodes. Probably casual Fridays dedicated to it. Honestly, I think what's gonna happen coming up pretty soon. We might slightly upgrade a couple of things here in terms of how we do this. So here is my idea. I think with I'm thinking about making this thing. I'm thinking about how to bring in and like expand a little bit. And so I think what I'm going to do is that Mondays will be primarily dedicated toward just like the real riff with you guys. That's just the real riff, letting it go, being loose. And then casual Fridays will be like themed things, So whether it's like the start of a sports league or like a particular idea or like a concept that would like take a while to do. Like casual Friday editions will be like themed more. And in the normal Mondays will just be this like fun off the top. We're just talking about whatever stuff. Maybe we're gonna experiment. Maybe some things will be shifting around a little bit. We'll see what happens. It's gonna be fun. Anyway, um, what that was all coming around to say is that for these sports league, like a fun casual Friday thing would be like instead of doing like your typical season preview, here are the good teams, here are the bad teams. We're gonna be looking at teams that have new uniforms in the league. We're gonna rank them, talk about what works, what doesn't. I know you're gonna be like, why does anybody worry about this? Because who the fuck doesn't talk about the league shit, right? That's boring. Here, we're gonna talk about something more niche. You need some uniforms. I think it'd be fun. I really do. It would be fun. Now, let's get into this episode a little bit because there is an episode at hand right now. I was out to breakfast with the this morning, and I was sitting there talking about like, man, I should go volunteer at voting booths, and like I was like, I should go to rural areas, volunteer at voting booths, and like when everybody turn and just be like sponsored by Bud Light, and just see what the fuck happens, right? Just see how it goes, right? I'm just curious what would happen. Would it be a lot of people like, fuck yeah, dude, getting beers? Like, dude, if you're just handing out beers to people, dude, that's how you get people to vote. What the fuck are we talking about? Free beer if you vote? Holy shit. I just broke down a barrier. Can you believe that? I just broke down a barrier, folks. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what to say. Also, isn't that the best? You would have no turnout. You would have zero turnout under 21. Or that would be the fastest way to get the legally drinking age down to 18, right? You'd have like you couldn't have that promotion but not have everyone get eligible. Because it would raise such a realistic question of like, well, if they're not mature enough to make this type of decision about what to consume, how are they mature enough to make a decision about who should be controlling shit? And vice versa, right? If you're saying they're mature, right? Like you can make the argument that it's like, well, if you're letting them do this, then why can't they do this? Or if you're not letting them do this, how come? Yeah, call me crazy. I just feel like there's an argument to be made there. Probably isn't. Sometimes I like to think there can be. Anyways, that's how it started, right? And I'd be like, oh, it'd be super funny. Just see it's sponsored by Bud Light, see what happens. Film it, record it, do whatever. And then it came down to the idea of like, wait, why didn't Bud Light just like from a pure money perspective, like purely financially, right? Let's talk let's get ideals out of the way. Let's get like let's not talk what we believe. Let's talk what we, you know, let's talk what would make money for a minute. What if Bud Light just played both sides, right? You know what I mean? What if it was like Bud Light was like introducing Bud Light Red, and it like comes out in like a red can, and it's like for a real red blooded American, introducing Bud Red. That'd be the shit. It'd have like fucking Kid Rock fucking promoting it. It'd be awesome. You can't tell me that wouldn't work beautifully. And then you could be like, Are you a red blue guy or are you like a Bud Light blue guy or a Bud Light red kind of guy? And people would like decide over that shit, you know? Do you understand? You know what I mean? I feel like that would be that promotion would work so well. And you could be like, you decide what it literally just that is kind of like sorry, total brain just hello, welcome back. No, it's just full brain reset, dude. Um, yeah, how wild was that be? We're like in dystopian future of advertising to the point where it's like, what are our corporate morals? You decide by buying the most product. That that it really would be. It's so wild, but it's such a concept. Just to be like, here at Bud Light, we decided that we want you to decide our morals. So coming up, we've got Bud Light Red and Bud Light Blue. And they're just seeing which one gets bought more, right? Very end of the campaign. It's like this is going all summer long. It'd be the best campaign ever, dude. All summer long, these have like the polls come out like at the end of after by July 4th, Bud Light Blue leads, and you just keeps like the blue it's being like Bud Light Blue leads, buy more rise. And just keep buying them, and then of course you get people in. Oh, we gotta buy the Bud Light Blue. Show us that, right? And we on both sides, yeah. And then eventually at the end of the summer, the big like, oh, like the first football game of the year, like the first NFL game of the year, right? Like the first commercial break. We at Bud Light had decided to fucking crown our champion, Bud Light. And they're like, what? And they just put down like the original Bud Light can, right? Like they have like a brand new, like all like blue with peace signs and love and like not even that, like even crazier. It's like blue ones, all the crazy lefty, all the most ridiculousness of it, and then the one with the right, all the most ridiculous of it. Yeah, fucking Kid Rock on all that shit. And then like they put down the original Bud Light. The winner is Bud Light Corporation. We had the best summer on record, all because you guys wouldn't stop buying Bud Light, right? And that'd be so that'd be beautiful. Oh, that'd be beautiful. Would that alienate the entire client base just for one great joke? Absolutely, but god damn it, that's funny. That would be funny. Yeah, sometimes, folks, funny matters more. Sometimes it really is the most important thing. I think that's a perfect example. I don't know if you agree or not, but I do. I think more corporations could get in on it, though. I don't think this is just a Bud Light thing, right? Like you remember left Twix versus right Twix? It's right there, dude. Do the exact same thing. Left Twix is just some blue haired liberal arts college fucking art major. Or and then the other side is just some fucking just some fucking you know what. You know exactly what. Just some like backwoods redneck motherfucker. It's out there. Like, we're exactly one of those dudes where it's just like, yeah, he's the county drain fucking declogger. Like that dude. Yeah, get those two. Put each one of them be like left Twix or right Twix. You decide. Or better yet, let's just do like the celebrities, right? Let's just do like the most. Keep coming back to Kid Rock, but there are other options, right? We all have the options, but that'd be so funny. It's left Twix versus right Twix. You decide. Oh, just take full advantage of it. Go nuts with it. There's so many others. There's so many like I think the Twix one would be especially funny too. Because like Twix, like even in the commercial, like the commercial I feel like is kind of like a low key nod because it's like the factory is like right next to each other. It's the same fucking factory. It's like different sides of the same factory, which is the point of the commercial is that it's the same, but also like, you know, it points to other things, I think, as well. The little jokes, jokey joke. I think it's a good little jokey joke too. But like they started packaging left Twix different, right Twix different. You decide. That'd be funny. I think that would be funny. I think that'd be very funny. God damn, dude. Sorry, we got ESPN on, like Sports Center on in the background. Jimmy Butler is just the fucking man in the playoffs. Anyway, I bet you could make one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish weirdly political if you wanted to. Jeez. It's silly. I 100% bet you could, but that's a very silly thought. Man, okay. So hey, should we yeah, let me get into this. Should we get into this draft stuff? I feel like I should start getting I feel like I should start to get into this draft stuff a little bit. There's a whole NFL draft that I said I was gonna recap, so let's do it, man. It was a fun one and a wild one. Not at all what was expected. But as I saw one person put it this morning, I don't think very many people were like disappointed either. Like I'm not sure there were a lot of teams that were super bummed out about everything that happened, which to me personally, I think is sign of a good draft. Trying to go back to pull the whole thing up. Oh man, also there's some news stories that I want to get to at the very actually, you know what? Let's get to the news stories first and then do draft stuff. There are like two that I want to really get to, all right? The first one is about a good boy named Patch, named or crowned beautiful bulldog at Drake University event. Right, the 2-year-old English bulldog beat out 28 other contestants from 6 states Monday night to win the top prize. Dude, shout out Patch. That's what we're talking about, dude. Shout out Patch. Credit to the boy. What a good boy, dude. He's a beautiful boy right here. He's got a big old blue and gold crown on, man. Like a little tan patch around his eye and like some white fur. Like a like a big old bulldog kind of nose. You know what I mean? Big old nose. Do you know what that means? Oh, okay, good. I'm glad. I wasn't sure if you know what that means, but yeah, that's exactly what that means. Dude, he is such a good boy. Oh my god, dude. What a great picture. Him licking up his own snot. Solid. What a king. Oh, look at all these loser dogs, dude. They're showing pictures of all these fucking loser dogs. I don't give a shit about these loser dogs. Show me fucking Patch. Show me King Patch, bitch. I'm trying to see my king. Long live the king. I mean, he won't because he's gonna have respiratory issues. He's a fucking bulldog. So he's been inbred for fucking hundreds of years, but shout out Patch. Patch is a G. A good boy, just hanging out, winning trophies. Absolute gangster. Man. Patch entirely Patch's entry. Sorry, I can't read. Did I ever mention that on the podcast? My apologies. Patch's entry seemed to get a boost when she carefully ambled through a hoop on the runway, bringing cheers from the crowd of spectators. Her owners, Jennifer Hinton and Joel Cornder, excuse me, of Johnston, Iowa, said they had worked on the hoop routine for months ahead of the competition. Damn, dude. Had to be jumping through hoops and mess. Odd rules. That King Pat Queen Patch for you. I know it's Patch is a she, but yeah, Queen Patch for you right there, folks. What a win. What a win for our queen. All hail Queen Patch, dude. Queen Patch rules. If you're hearing this, Queen Patch, I salute you. I salute you, beautiful as Bulldog at Drake University. Shout out. What do you think the walk up music is like? It can only be one thing, right? Right. Got it from the bottom now. Yeah. All right. We get it. Moving on. I'm just imagining the cut video of the dog like jumping through the hoop and then getting crowned. That the real is on the rise. Fuck them other guys. I even gave them a chance. Oh, that'd be so funny, dude. That'd be so funny, dude. Just like the just the Drake fucking cut. That'd be so fun. The Drake cut at the Drake University beautifulest bulldog contest. Oh, how can I explain myself? Oh man, oh, I'm just being a goofball at this point. This is a real goofy episode, folks. A real goofball of an episode. It's another news story before we get into this football stuff. Oh yeah, this this is hilarious. German. Okay, actually, by the way, let me credit the last story. AP News had the story. The AP. So got AP News with that story. And then with this one, this story out of Berlin, Germany. German court, German court, naked landlord doesn't justify lower rent. That's we gotta read this story and then explore. All right, so credit the AP for this one, but here we go. A German court said Wednesday that a landlord sunbathing naked in the courtyard of his building wasn't a reason for his tenants to reduce their rental payments. This is a fascinating case, I think. This is very, very interesting because I believe I might be wrong, but I believe German naked outside laws are pretty lax. I think. Let me check. Um, German. This is the part on the podcast where Sam looks done stuff up. Hey, let's figure this out here. German nudity laws. No laws when you're drinking claws, bro. Sorry, shout out Trevor Wallace. That's absolutely stolen. I know. It just made me. I just want to do that in person. It's so funny. It's a very funny line. But anyways, it's nudity laws. I don't know if I know a lot. Yeah. Anyways, shout out. There's no explicit legal regulations on clothing in Germany. Nudity on private grounds is considered as legal, even if visible from outside. Dude, right there. That's the law. That's totally good. The dude owns the property. It's the property fucking man. It's the landlord. It's the property dude. He owns the property. He can be naked in the property if he so wishes.
And yeah, I'm absolutely with the German court on this one. If that's the law, if the law is clear in that you can be naked on your property, even if clearly visible from the outside, then yes, if you have people living on your property that you allow to live there and that pay you to live there, that payment is whatever you set, and therefore you should still be able to do your thing. And even if within their residence, they can see it doesn't matter. I I am with the German court on this one. Now, does that mean I want to live there? No, dude. I'm not trying to live in the place with the naked dude outside. That sounds shitty. I don't know why these people would want to. Right. So like let the market decide. If you're gonna have rent go down, right? Just let the market like have people be like, no, I don't want to live here. This sucks. Right? You know what I mean? Like it'll be like, if people aren't gonna want to live there because the naked dude outside, and like it gets the reputation as the place with a naked dude outside, you either A, gonna get a few people who spend a lot of money to live there, or it's like B, you lower the price and people like accept it because it's cheap and it's like cool. And it's a good enough place that like it's worth putting up with for the cheaper price. Either way, that's just let the market decide, baby. Figure that out. That's what it's there for. It's the point. It's the whole shebang. The whole shebang. By the way, I'm leaving in the laundry pauses from earlier. Fuck this. I'm leaving in the laundry pauses. Them shit's hilarious. This is hilarious. Let's get the let's get this clear. Take a sip of the coffee. It's probably audibly annoying for some of you, and I apologize. Anyways, NFL draft. Let's get into it. Got around 20-ish minutes left in the pod. So pulling up. This is the part of the podcast where Sam likes talks about hey. All right, NFL draft order. We're gonna look at this thing. We're gonna go through every single pick. No, 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 no. We're not doing that. Now what's happening? I get weirdly singy on this podcast sometimes, I realize. Anyhow, let's look at this draft. Oh yeah, dude. So we will go through the first round, right? Pretty thoroughly. I'm gonna give you guys a full league perspective, talk about some teams I think did a sick job, talk about some guys that I'm glad were drafted. And then we're also gonna do a thing where like I talk a little bit about like my specific team in the Seahawks and like with the stuff that they did and like what I like that they were able to accomplish. So first things first round in like league as a whole. As everyone expected, Bryce Young at Alabama quarterback, he went first. Carolina. Then things got interesting. The Houston Texans, who had the second pick and the 12th pick, traded the 12th pick to the Arizona Cardinals and got the third pick after having drafted CJ Stroud to play quarterback. Having the third pick, now they go draft Will Anderson, edge out of Alabama. All of a sudden, franchise edge, franchise quarterback. Beautifully done. Excuse me. Indianapolis, they stay put. They draft Anthony Richardson, quarterback, Florida. Seattle Seahawks, they stay put. A team that was expected to take a guy like Jalen Carter or Tyree Wilson. Nope. Devin Witherspoon. Nasty, mean, aggressive corner out of Illinois. A Pete Carroll guy through and through. Slightly shorter than the average Pete Carroll. State defensive back, specifically cornerback, but an absolute dog in the best way. Sixth pick, Detroit Lions. Arizona, who had that 12th pick after the trade with the Texans, they move up to that spot. And the Lions happily trade back. At that spot, the Cardinals, they draft Paris Johnson Jr., offensive tackle, the favorite offensive lineman in the draft of their quarterback, Kyler Murray. Then, following this, the Raiders, they make a good selection, picking Tyree Wilson, followed by Falcons making a good selection in Bijan Robinson. But do you know what this means? It means that against all odds, trading up with Chicago for absolute peanuts, the Philadelphia Eagles, who select Jalen. Who's Jalen Carter? Oh, yeah, that's right. Absolute stud, maybe the best player in this draft. Chicago then takes their offensive tackle of the future, Darnell Wright, followed by the Tennessee Titans taking their left offensive tackle of the future in Peter Skoronski. Finally, we get to Detroit, who had traded back at this point to where they were able to take running back Jahmyr Gibbs, a player that everybody thought was a reach at this point, but with how some other things fell, didn't end up being the worst pick. Next, you had the Packers, who traded up in the Rodgers, who swapped up in the Rodgers trade and had the Jets pick. They went Lucas Van Ness, defensive end out of Iowa. Next pick was the Patriots, but they moved up. They moved down, excuse me, trading with the Steelers, who got Broderick Jones, the offensive tackle, who the Jets wanted, who picked the next. Solid move by New England to get their division rival in trouble. So, the Jets went with Will McDonald, outside linebacker out of Iowa State, followed by Washington taking Emmanuel Forbes out of Mississippi State, the corner. Christian Gonzalez, the corner from Oregon, shout out, goes to New England. Jack Campbell, the Iowa linebacker, goes to Detroit. Again, another reach, but he got the guy he wanted. At 19, this one broke my heart. Kalijah Cansey, the defensive tackle out of Pittsburgh, he went to the Bucks one pick before Seattle would have definitely taken him. Instead, Seattle, well, they do something pretty sweet anyways. Jackson Smith and Jigba, wide receiver out of Ohio State. Next pick to go, Quentin Johnson out of TCU. He goes to the Chargers, followed by Zay Flowers, Boston College receiver to the Ravens. Jordan Addison, USC receiver to the Vikings. Here in a trade with Jacksonville, Deontay Banks was taken by the Giants, followed by another trade in which the Bills move up to take Dalton Kincaid, the tight end from Utah, snagging him before Dallas can. Instead, Dallas goes to Mozzie Smith, the defensive tackle out of Michigan, back in the original pick of the Bills, excuse me, because the way it was all sorts of trading around of the Giants, excuse me. The actually I don't even know anymore. I'm so confused. Let's just say Anton Harris from Oklahoma, he went to Jags. Miles Murphy from Clemson, he went to the Bengals. Brian Breesy of Clemson, he went to the Saints. Nolan Smith from Georgia, he also went to the Eagles. Ugh. And Felix Ondudik Uzoma from Kansas State, the defensive end, he went to the Chiefs. That was the entire first round breakdown, but we talk about my team, dude. I am hyped on the work done by my Seattle Seahawks. And let me tell you what I like about it. Was it necessarily a draft where you addressed all the need in the world? No, you didn't actually. Probably the two biggest needs this team had weren't addressed until day 2, day 3. Devin Witherspoon, I mean, he's an overall just stud. Same with Jackson Smith and Jigba. Then Seattle went Derek Hall, outside linebacker out of Auburn, who honestly I think Seattle's either going to have it an edge or might try to put a couple extra pounds on, you know. But athletic dude, very athletic dude. Zach Charbonnet, running back, UCLA, second round pick, maybe a little higher than they needed to take him, but got your guy. I think he'll be a big help for Seattle, honestly, just because I love K9 as a running back. He's a shifty dude. Sometimes you need someone who can go straight forward. That's Zach Charbonnet. Traded out of the third round, gave it to the Broncos for a third rounder next year and a fourth that was used on Anthony Bradford, offensive guard at LSU, finally taken a major need, the offensive guard position, followed by Cameron Young, a defensive tackle out of Mississippi State, filling an absolute need there as well. Mike Morris, defensive end out of Michigan, putting some extra weight on him, making him a three tech. Love that. And Osugun Awatimi, center out of Michigan. Absolutely love that pick. Being able to get that dude at the spot they did, love it. Last picks were Jarek Reed out of New Mexico and Kenny McIntosh, running back from Georgia. I really do like that draft for my Seattle Seahawks. I know y'all might not, but who cares? I don't give a fuck what you guys like. Talking about my team. If you have a team you want me to talk about, let me know. I'll talk about them. I will absolutely talk about them. But if you don't, I won't know who to talk about. So I'm talking about my team. Where's some other stories I liked though? Oh, dude, Deuce Vaughn getting drafted by his dad ruled. There's this running back right out of Kansas State named Deuce Vaughn. Very good player, really small but super fast, pretty strong for his size. So his dad works for the Dallas Cowboys, believe it or not, right? Crazy coincidence. Well, his dad is like the assistant, like he's like the head scout's main right hand, right? And so all throughout the draft process, whenever we're talking about running backs, he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm not really gonna be a part of that conversation because my kid's involved. I don't want to be." But dude, they ended up picking this kid, and he got to make the call. How sick is that? He got to call his kid and be like, "Hey, buddy, you want to come to work to me tomorrow or this week?" And he's like, "Oh, dude, that would rule." It was so sick. It was such a sick moment, dude. It made me so happy seeing that. Shout out Deuce Vaughn drafted. I always love seeing the phone calls. Like Seattle, I don't know if every team does it. Seattle puts out like the phone calls they make to the players, and it's always really fun. Like it's always fun to see like guys' reactions and shit. It's a great time. It was it was a pretty great time. I enjoyed the draft, man. I really did. I know I shouldn't enjoy the draft like that, but I did enjoy the draft like that. It was genuinely it was genuinely a good time. I don't know why like watching that stuff is fun for me because like I like watching teams build. Like I like the idea of team building is very fun for me. I like watching teams like come together. So we'll see. I will say I had a terrific sports weekend in general. Besides Seattle making great picks, um, Timbers won. It's awesome. Watched Oregon play in a spring football game that was a lot of fun. Enjoyed watching that. It was just it was vibes today were of the positive variety would be the best way that I could kind of describe how the vibes were today. Really genuinely, it was things felt cool. It was a cool sports weekend. It doesn't happen all the time. Not very often, actually. Not very often is it like everything seemed to have gone well sports wise this weekend, but it happened. It was great. It was a lot of fun. But day and the rest of this week is fucking busy. Fucking busy, dude. Starting tonight, starting like literally right when I have this podcast, I'm gonna like upload this thing and leave immediately and cruise on up to San Jose, meet the boys, and then head down to Santa Cruz. Heading on down to Santa Cruz, gonna have myself time. Hippie faces everywhere, crazy folks who love temptations. I enjoy it, dude. Gonna go down and see my man Brian Snyder. Love Brian. Think my BJ's hosting over at Rosie's too. Oh, BJ's my guy. My drink ticket king. I love a drink. No, nobody, not me. Oh, not many people make me happier than people with drink tickets. Drink tickets. Maybe my favorite thing on this planet of Earth are some good drink tickets. They just make me a happy man. Them drink tickets make me a happy man. Ah, boy, you know it's silly if I'm doing voices. I know it's silly if we're doing voices. Oh me, oh my. Yeah, man. But I think that I think that we're doing I think that it's gonna be a fun one. I think that we're gonna have a fun one here coming up. I think it's gonna be a fun week. Yeah, going up Santa Cruz, meeting the boy, going down Santa Cruz, going to see Brian and Brian and BJ, get some drink tickets, have a good time. All load up by going up to Woodham, see Pete, see everybody up there. I think tomorrow, Santa Cruz, what is it? Not Santa Cruz Brinker. It's Bear Bottle Brewing in Santa Clara, excuse me. Bear Bottle Brewing in Santa Clara. We'll be doing trivia up there, so come on through if you want to do trivia, if you want to. That's where it'll be happening. And then Wednesday's a caravan day. Wednesday is a caravan day. Gonna be at caravan on that day. It'll be fun. I like caravan days. It'll be a good time. And then Thursday, either a San Francisco or a My Gypsy Soul. One of the two. One of the two. Took last Thursday off to watch the draft. Not missing Thursday this week. Gonna go out and do something. Either two mics up in San Francisco or one mic down in San Jose. We'll see how it works out, man. I'll be curious to see, man. But thank you guys for listening. Still got a couple minutes left of this, but I'm feeling we'll wrap this papa up. Always fun coming on here doing this, even if I don't know what I'm really gonna talk about too much. I'm still glad that it got it was all right. It was all right. I feel like we did all right here. Yeah, man. Yeah, playoffs have been fun. Fucking Warriors beat fucking Kings. Took 7 games. Then they played the Lakers. Just rooting for either Phoenix or Denver, no matter what. At least until the finals. Maybe Miami get there. How funny would that be? I'd root for the 8 seed. I love Jimmy Butler. Big Jimmy Butler guy. That'd be a lot of fun to see. Wouldn't also hate seeing like a New York would be fun. It'd be so obnoxious though. It'd be so obnoxious. The media coverage of it would be kind of gross. I like small market teams being successful, which is why I'm always down for a good Milwaukee run. Um, who's still playing in the East? Boston and Philly. Ooh, yeah, Philly run could be fun. I feel like a Philly Denver. I feel like I said that already on here, maybe, but a Philly Denver would be so fun. I think a Philly Denver could be a great time, personally.
Yeah, man. Anyways, thanks for listening, you guys. Thanks for listening. Oh, shout out to Seattle Kraken, by the way. Fucking making the second round of the playoffs in their first ever appearance. Way impressive. Way, way, way impressive. Anyways, man, thank you guys for listening. As I said, we'll be down in Santa Cruz tonight. Come out and see that. Tomorrow, uh, Santa Clara doing trivia. So come out to see that. Coming up on Wednesday, San Jose downtown doing caravan. Come out and see that. And then Thursday, either my Gypsy Soul or up in San Francisco. Either way, if you're around, come the fuck by, man. Holy crap. Yeah, it's always so fun hanging out with y'all. Thank you for hanging out as long as you did. You probably didn't have to, but I appreciate that you did. It was very cool of you. You're all so cool. You're all so fucking amazing. If you hung out this long, just walk that's me on your shaft because I'm happy that you stuck around this long. You're a fucking angel. You're so, oh God, I love you. Jesus Christ. It gets weird here at the end, but that's fine. Because you don't know how to leave the conversation. I should just Irish goodbye my own podcast. Just, oh yeah, no, hey, where's Sam go? Huh? I think you off. That'd be perfect. If I could Irish goodbye my own podcast, that would rule. Yeah, I think that's what you call just stop doing it. It's probably what most people want to have happen with this. Mostly just so they can stop seeing me fucking post an Insta story about it once every fucking 3 days. Anyways, loving the podcast with self hate. Appreciate you guys. If you somehow listen to all this, you're cool. Um, Casual Friday will be up on Friday. Hopefully on time. We'll see what happens. Anyways, see ya. Have a good one. Appreciate you. I should be ashamed with Sam Schmidt. I'm ashamed that you guys don't get better content out of me. All right, later.